Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Selenium training. So in this session we are going to talk on how to capture screenshots and store all of these screenshots into a Word document. So this is frequently asked question or I see most of the posts in different forums that they need a code for capturing screenshots and saving them into a Word document and they can send an email to their leadership or stakeholders. So today we are going to see all this code in practical. So just keep a watch as these are all framework prerequisite sessions. I request you to follow these sessions from starting to ending so that you will be more hands-on and familiar when you are designing your frameworks. So let's get started. So let's see what all dependencies you need to write this code for capturing screenshots. Okay. So first, basically, let's understand why do you need to capture screenshots and then store it into a Word document. So to store all results into a Word document for future reference and logs, by saving your screenshots into a Word document, you can have a reference because application changes are might happen on daily basis so that if you want to have a reference or logs maintained or history maintained, you can save all those screenshots on daily basis and put it in some Word document and store it somewhere. And also the other use is you can send these results to your leadership or stakeholders whenever you require. So what dependencies you need to capture these screenshots and store in Word document. The only one dependency that you must need for this is Apache POI OOXML dependency. So this is the only heart of this requirement. We need just this dependency. And what this dependency contains, we will see it in detail. But now what we are going to perform in this session is we are going to capture the screenshots and then store it into one folder and then bring all those screenshots and save it into a Word document. And also we are going to do some additional steps like setting the title. Say for example, if you want to put some titles like regression, or you want to put some headers and footers for a Word document, or if you want to write some timestamps to that results, so that this will be most helpful and we will see the task in practical. And the other thing is you have to remember why these classes, or these are the classes which are highlighted in blue: XPWF document, XPWF paragraph, and XPWF run. So these are the core requirements or core classes that we are using for this program, so that which will have a document and the paragraphs and setting the alignments and the font and the text, everything whatever you need you can specify in the Word document as normally as you write your Word document. Okay, so I'll paste these POI references in the description box so that you can go through those POIs and read some documents so that you will get some understanding what is these POI classes are. And coming to the classes that these are the classes that we are going to use in our code: XWPF document, paragraph, run, and CTS sectors. And this to maintain header and footer, we are using this class, and CTP, CTR, CT text. These are all the classes that we are going to use. We will see in detail. And also just for each class there are different classes that we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so let's switch to our Eclipse. Okay, so here I have my pom.xml file, which I already mentioned. We just need only one dependency, that is POI OXML. This is the dependency that you need. And then I already have a WebDriver manager. And I just included one more Selenium Firefox driver since I would like to capture screenshots using Firefox browser. I have included this, but if not, you can as usually maintain your pom.xml with just this POI file, Apache POIX dependency, and then write your code. Okay, so I have added some dependent. But anyway, I'll be giving this GitHub code in the description box. So let's see what methods we need here. So in order to perform this requirement, we need to write four methods. One is capture screenshots, and other one is create a Word document with screenshots. We are going to call this this method once when we need to capture all the screenshots into a Word document. And next one is get current date timestamp, just to put these into our Word document for reference. And the next one is image format. We are going to need this method, which you will understand later, because this when we are working with this Apache POI, we need to provide what image format it is, so that it gets that image format in a integer value. Okay. And then we need these other tasks as well. What we are doing here now, so capturing screenshots, saving to a folder, and getting saving all screenshots into a Word document, and setting the title in the Word document, and giving timestamps, and giving test case names and header, footer. All these steps we are going to see in practical now. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a new package, and I'll call it as base screenshots to Word. And as we need some methods to be regularly called, I'm going to create one more method, and sorry, I'm going to create one more package, and I'll call this package as methods. Okay, now let me create a class here. I'll call this as screenshots to, or yeah, screenshots to Word, and let me put regression underscore screenshots to Word, and let me take public static void main. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, basically we are going to write a method capture screenshots which will contain the names, right? So as we see in our previous session, you can see we have capture with name, right? We are passing the driver and also this name, which we are passing in that parameter. See home page, we are passing a name of the screenshot, right? So in the same way we are going to do that here as well, so that all the names are captured and put it in an array, and then pass all these names into the Word. Okay, pass names of screenshots to array, pass the array as, pass an array as argument to Word method. So Word method in the sense this method. Okay, so for that, let us create one variable static. I'll take a string variable since I need to pass the names, and I'll take screenshot names, and I'll initialize it with the capacity or with the range of 100. So I think we will not have a screenshots more than 100 in a Word document, which will be very huge. So I request you to capture as many less as you can, so that which are only important for the testing and for maintaining the logs. And I'll be maintaining one more array increment here, because I need to pass this as the argument whenever I store the name. Whenever I want to save capture a screenshot, I need to pass those names into the screenshots name array, so that I'll use this array increment as a variable for increment and store it in the particular indexes. Okay, so then I'll be creating one more variable for WebDriver, public static WebDriver. Let me call it as driver. Okay, now import this driver. Now let's keep it as simple. We are going to do with a Google page to make our scenario very simple, so that you can extend it for your projects. I'll be taking WebDriver Manager dot Firefox driver setup and import this WebDriver Manager. Okay, WebDriver Manager. Next, we are going to uh, open browser. Driver is equal to new Firefox driver and import this. Okay, let's see. Okay, this should be capital F, and then I'm going to open Google page driver.get http. Okay, so let me maximize the browser. Manage dot window dot maximize. Okay, so let's write a method for capturing screenshot, right? We will not be using this class. We will be writing our methods in this class, in these methods. Okay, so let me create a new class here and I'll call it as reusable methods. Okay, and let me finish. Okay, so okay, let's create a method here. Public static void. I'll call it as capture screenshot. Okay, and two arguments. One is screenshot name and other one is WebDriver driver. Okay, so as you already know, we are going to use take screenshot, which we already discussed in our previous session. Screenshot is equal to, we are casting our WebDriver, take screenshot driver, and import this take screenshot and import this WebDriver. And okay, one S is missing here. Okay, so as usually, as we have done earlier, we are going to take a source file is equal to our screenshot instance dot get screenshot as output type dot file. Okay, so import this file. Okay, now let's write file destination is equal to new file of system dot get property of. I'm going to save my screenshots into the same folder, I mean, and the same project folder itself. So for that reason, I'm just giving user.dir, which will read your self directory, whatever it is here, it will read that self directory. Okay, plus, and I'll be giving a folder name like test results, for example. Okay, and then I'll be giving my screenshots. Okay, so let me give test results plus. So this screenshot name I am going to give in the name and then dot jpg. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, dot jpg, and now you have to use file utils dot copy file, right? So you have to copy file from source to the destination which we already have. Okay, so just put this. Oh, what's wrong here? Copy file src file utils. File utils. It's expecting something here. Destination is equal to user directory plus screenshot and dot jpg. Okay, now it came. So add throws declaration, that's what it's expecting. Okay, so let's try to put these in try catch block so that this doesn't throw any issues. And let's put IO exception and print e dot get message. Sorry, e dot get message, so that this goes to this message is printed properly. Okay, now let's use this method and let's call this method. So in order to access this reusable methods class, excuse me, you need to create one variable instance for this class. Okay, so right, private static, let me take this class name and let me take one variable reuse or some reuse. Okay, and let me import this package. Okay, now we have a variable to access. Okay, now let's reuse dot. See, we have a method, right? Capture screenshot and the name, right? Once the page is open, I want to capture home page, comma driver. Okay, and then it's expecting add throws declaration, give that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type something in the um, page. That means after opening a Google page, let me open. So I want to type something here and also capture screenshot. Okay, so let me inspect this element. So checkbox name, we have name q, right? So let's take that driver dot find element of by dot name of q. Okay, dot send keys of, and I'll type something like knowledge share. Okay, and then again I want to capture screenshot. Okay, I will use the variable which I have, and again capture screenshot of, I'll call it as text type dot driver. So first screenshot I'm calling it as home page, and second screenshot I'm calling it as text type. Okay, so now let me run this code and see whether my files are getting stored in the uh, path which I defined. So what is that path? So this is the path test results, right? So let me run this code now. So this might be a lengthy video, but people who want to understand the logic behind this, I am just providing this session. But if you want to see the code directly, you can see the description box and get the code and then use it in your project. So done. Let me go. Okay. Now let me refresh this project. Okay. See, this test results got created, right? So now let me go to properties. Let me go here and test results. Okay. See, I have one screenshot with a home page. Okay. And the next screenshot where I type this knowledge share. Okay, so these two screenshot I want to put it in a Word document and then write some test case names. Obviously, the test case name or test step name that I would like to put is home page, text type, and all these things. Okay, so let's see. Let's create that one more method which we need. Okay, okay. Now the small change that I'm going to do here is, as I said you, we need to capture all the names of the image files, right? So now in test results, I have, let me go to this folder again. Or see, in the test results, I have two files. One is homepage, one is text type. I want to capture these file names and store it in a screenshot names, okay, in this array variable, so that whenever we call this Word document method, it captures all the file names one by one in this folder and it will try to put all those into a Word document. Okay. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, take the screenshot names, okay, and the array, and I'm going to take this array increment plus plus, okay, is equal to home page. So whenever I'm going to take a screenshot, I'm going to simply copy paste and use this line so that it always increments. Okay. So screenshot names is equal to type text type. Okay. We are giving the file name or the test step name, as well as at the same time we are storing that name into a array variable. That's what the point here is. Okay, now we are done with capturing screenshots. Okay, now the final step is we need to uh, get the all these screenshots and store it into a Word document. Okay, now what I'm going to do is reuse dot, I'll write some method here. I'll call it as create test results. uh, I'll call it as save screenshots to Word document. Okay, this is my method. So in this method I would like to pass two arguments. One is the document name. Okay, I'll call it as regression results, which is a string, and the next argument which I'm going to pass is this screenshot names, because I wanted to pass all the file names which are in this array to this method so that it captures all the file names and starts storing into the Word document. Okay, so this is the method I'm trying to create. Okay, so let me create this method. So parameters are already created. Okay, now as I said you, we would be needing create get current date method and get image format. So let's see how that is done in these following steps. Okay, so this is obviously a screenshot names which is obviously taken with a string array, and this one is test case name. Okay, let's put this as um document name, right? So this is a document name. Okay, now what we have to do, we can obviously print this system.out.println. Document name is, okay, and if I want to print image file names, So I can use that as well. System.out.println image file name. Okay, and I'll call it as screenshot name of 0. Okay, and as I have two screenshots, just I'm printing it for your reference so that you can see them. Okay, done. Now we are going to write an actual part of the code. Okay, so where as I showed you in the PPT, we will be using XPWF document. If you want to read those Apache POIs, you can simply read those class about those classes XP XWPF document. Okay, so when you type that, you will be getting a Apache POI document where you will get all the related methods and everything here. Okay, so if you want to refer this, you can refer this. I'll be pasting these links. Okay, now I'm going to create one instance for our document. I'll call it as, okay, let me create instances for document paragraphs. So obviously all document is in a paragraph format. That's the reason they have given XPWF paragraph. So let's create a document first. XWPF document. I'll call it as doc is equal to new XPWF document. Okay. So import this package. Next thing is we are going to write XWPF same one. We are going to take a paragraph. Okay, and I'm going to call it as P. Okay, and doc dot we are going to create a paragraph. Okay, so this is the method you need to call and export this. Done. Now we are going to take this will create a document object. Okay, and this one is for paragraph alignments, borders, everything. Okay, and the next one which we are going to take is XW pf run. Okay, where we are going to take as r, and we are going to reference this paragraph. We need to format this paragraph. Okay, so p dot create run. Okay, this is the method we are going to use. So this method is used to set font styles, colors, and you can even go to the next line. All those things will be uh, coming up from there. Okay, now import this XPWF run as well. Now we have to get the body of the document. So for that they have given one class cts sect pr. Okay, and then I'm going to take as sect pr is equal to, and I'm going to reference this document to get the document a body and everything. So if you give doc dot, you will be getting get document. See, there is one document. Okay, get the document embedded files. Okay, so you can read the description as well and get the body, get body, and see the method what it gives. Okay, dot I'm going to add new sector. Okay, add new sector of paragraph. Okay, now import this class. Now as I said you here, we are going to set the header and footer, right? So to set the header and footer, we have one more class XWPF header footer policy is equal to new, copy this, header footer policy of, I'm passing this document as a parameter. This needs to be passed, and also the sect we with the sector which we created. So let's call it as sect PR. This is the one which we need to pass. Okay, one is the document, and to what you need to apply the header and footer, and to this section, right? So I am passing this, import these classes, add throws declaration. Okay, now this is for header and footer object. Okay, create instance for document, paragraph, styles. Yes, now we are done. Now let's create a header. Okay, so creating headers. Okay, let me show you one example of header and footer. You can see here one example. So I want to put regression test results as a header, and also I want to put the timestamp so that I will know when these regression test results are executed. Okay, so I'm going to create a header. So to create a header, we have to create some objects for a classes. One is CTP. I'll call it as CTP header is equal to CTP dot factory dot new instance, and we have to create one more CTR again, for this is for running or getting everything styles kind of stuff. I'll call it I'll make this object reference CTP header and add new. Okay, add new R, and then we have to test import this CTR class. And one more thing is we have to set the text also, CT text, and I'll call it as CT header. CT header is equal to CT header dot add new. Okay, so I'll need to pass this again, CTR header dot add new text. Okay, t add new text. Okay, so the objects are created successfully. Now we need to write something, right? So we need to write something on the headers. So for that we need to create a paragraph. Again, XWPF paragraph and header paragraph is equal to new XW paragraph of. So I need to pass the object which I created here. Okay, CTP header. I need to pass CTP header comma the document which we created. Okay, the main document. Okay, and then again I have to create the run which will format the text in the Word document. Okay, XWPF run. So header run, I'll call it as header run is equal to, and header paragraph dot create run. So now using this header run and header paragraph, we are going to set the alignments and the fonts and the colors. Okay, so I'll set the alignments of the header. Okay, I'll call it as alignments and colors styles of the header in the Word doc. Okay, now I'll use this header paragraph. Okay, header paragraph dot, you can see different methods available here: set alignment, set border between, set left, set top, everything. Okay, I'll set the alignment first. Set alignment of and you have a paragraph alignment dot. Okay, you can see different alignments here, left, right, and everything. So I am taking left. I want to align the title or the header to the left, and then I want to set the size of the header. I'll call it as set font size. I'll call it as 10. Let me put this 10. And also you can set the color as well. So header run dot set color of, I already have one color, so let me show you that color. Okay, 1 second. Color, yeah, I have previously noted this color, so this is the color I am going to take. Okay, 808000, 8000. Okay, so I am going to take this, and this is a string actually, so pass it as a string. Now I want to set the text. Okay, so regression test results screenshots. Okay, so let me put some text. Sorry, let me take again header run dot set text. Okay, set text of, I'll call it as knowledge share regression test results. Okay, now I want to give a break. I mean, I want to add the next line. Okay, so for that I'll give header run dot add break. So add break will bring you to the next line. Okay, okay, now I will add the date. So I'll call some method here for now, or let me take one string variable. String current date is equal to, I'll create one method. Before that I'll just write the prototype, and I want the date in such a format like YYY, DD, HH, minutes, seconds, so that I'll exactly know when these screenshots are created with the results. So let me create this function, create method. Okay, so structure is created. Now this is a string variable, so the working with dates is very easy. So let's take a date format. Okay, date format is equal to new simple date format of format of string, right? We are passing the string from there, or let's call it as format, and import this date format. Now date is equal to new date of, from util, import it from util, and import the simple date format. Okay, so something, okay, add return statement, and return, we'll call it as date format dot format of date. So we already got the date, current date, and then we are formatting it as per the format that we provided here. So anytime you can change this format. Okay, so based on that it will try to get the date. Okay, now we got the current date, so let's include that using the header run as we included here. So header run dot set text of, again set text of, I'll be using current date, so that it displays exactly like this, some header and then the date here. Okay, so I'm showing this Word document is for to know how we are designing this code. Later on we will run this script and see those values all reflecting. Okay, so now our header is done. So we have set the date format, and now we have to finalize this everything. Okay, we have to write some parser things. So for that, I'm going to take XWPF paragraph is parse header is equal to new same. Okay, of one. That means we have set up only one paragraph. I mean, till now we have written only one thing, right? Okay. So pass header of 0 is equal to header paragraph. So we have to take this header paragraph. Okay. And then we have set up a policy here. So let's take up this policy, header footer policy, as I said you. So take that policy dot create header. Okay. See, you have two methods, header and footer, right? So you have to take uh, mm, this method, okay, create header of, and you can take this header footer policy dot default policy, and you have to pass this parse header. Okay, this parameter. Then it will parse all the paragraph that we have written here, and it will try to write there. Okay. Now setting the header is done. So let's write here setting header. Okay, I can say objects, creating headers or header objects. Now let's take footer objects. So let me write create footer objects. Again, we have to take same variables, okay, as we have taken here. So let me copy these three uh, objects. So I'll call it as CT footer, okay, footer, and this also footer, and this also footer, okay, and CTR footer, and this one is CTP footer. Okay, now again I have to set some footer text. So what I'm going to do is, here if you have observed, I am putting some confidential text here, so that whenever these documents transfer through an email, or when we are sharing these documents to stakeholders or anything, we are maintaining some security standards. So for that you can put your company name and whatever you need. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I am going to take some text, string footer text is equal to, I already have one text copied. I'm going to copy here. Okay, I'm just putting this confidential, do not share these documents. Okay, so next I'm taking this CT footer dot set string value, and I'm going to pass this footer text so that it will set this in the footer. Okay, so once it is done, we have to take again this XWPF paragraph, and I'll call it as footer paragraph is equal to new XWF paragraph, and this time we have to pass our CTP footer. Okay, CTP footer comma doc which we created. So I'll show you that syntax here. um, Let me bring this down. So if you have observed, when we are setting up the header, we have put this, right, alignments and color styles, right? So this is for header. Okay, so let me take this comment and let me put it here. Okay, so this is yeah, so this is for footer, and import this OXWPF. One second. Okay, something. Okay, some spelling mistake. So here we are taking CTP header which we created here, and here we are taking CTP footer which we created here. Okay, this is to set the alignments and all those stuff. Okay, so again now I am taking this footer paragraph dot set alignment of, I'm going to set this alignment to the left itself. Okay, so again, to set this, we already have this, right? So let me take this from here, paragraph dot left. Okay, and next I'm going to um, take the same things here which we have taken. Okay, so parsing, so this section is for parse. So let me take these three lines here and reuse those to save time. So I'll call it as parse, and here I'll put parse footer. It's a new variable. Okay, and pass this parse footer to here, and call this as footer paragraph, which we have already taken above, and then pass this parse footer to this variable. Okay, and a policy, we are creating a policy here to pass. Okay, now we are done with the setting the header and setting the footer. So where is our this thing, right? So I'm putting here setting footer. Okay, so this is for alignment. So I'm dividing into blocks so that you can understand it very easily when you see the code. Okay, now we have everything, and now we can put some things as well, like all alignments. So paragraph alignments you can do. So p dot, okay, set alignment of, okay, paragraph alignment dot center. Okay, and we have one more r, right? We have run method. Using this also you can put all your you can set some few methods. Okay, set bold. Okay, and you can set it to true, and you have a different methods like set font family. Okay, Verdana, and or dot set text of. So this difference between this is a footer and this is a header, and now what we are what we are putting is the these values. So whatever you have in the body, these values you are setting now. So in order to set these values, you are using the variable which you created with xwpf run. Okay, so I am setting set text of, I'm going to put the test case name. Okay, that means the document name which we put here. Okay, so I'm putting document name so that this goes on top here, SAM test. Okay, so here what we are getting, we will be getting where is that yeah, regression test, right? So here we are passing regression results, right? So we will be getting this text in our document here. Okay, so yeah, document name we are set, and I'm adding a break or dot add break. Okay, so we are done. Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to get all the file names. This will say like title in the middle, title in the center, or test scenario name. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we are going to set the uh, files. Okay, we are going to get all the files and set the width and height of the images, and then copy it into the Word document. Okay, okay. For this, what we are going to do is, we have already an array here with the screenshot names. Okay, so let's take that in a for loop and copy one by one into a Word document. So this is simple. Let's see how we do that. String file. So, and I'm going to take this name where all my screenshots are there. That means I'm going to get one by one. Okay, and so in try block, I am going to take file destination where I want to copy all these files. Okay, so new file of system dot. sorry, we are going to get all the file names present in the particular directory. We are providing uh, those path here. Okay, system dot get property of. So as I said, our folder is this one, right? So I am going to use user.dir, which gives my current working project directory. So user.dir, and I'm going to give test results. Okay, and file, that means the file name which we are getting, that means a screenshot name. Okay, plus dot jpg. So since we stored all our screenshots into this test results, we are using the same method here. We are passing this array and getting one by one file names and taking that into a destination variable, dest variable. We are not doing anything complex here. We are getting each file into this destination folder to copy into the Word document. That's it. Okay. Now um, here I want to take one buffered image class to take the variable to set the destination or to read the destination image. So for that I'm taking here, let me take a buffered image. I'll call it as BIMG and import this buffered image, and I'll call this BI image. Okay, dot I dot image IO dot read of destination. Okay, so import this uh, buffered image. Okay, so we are set it now. Image io dot read the destination file. We will get the path, complete path, and then let's set the width and height of the doc or the images. So as you can see in the Word document, you should see these images in a cleared way. That means you should not align it to the right or left, or width might be more less or high, more less, or it's looking enlarged. So all those things you need to take care. So for that I have just couple of times I have done these width and heights and fit that 500 to 280 or 300, whatever it is. So not more than that. So I'm setting height as 280, and I'm going to take image file. I'm going to take one variable string image file is equal to this dot get name, so that I'll get the image file name. Okay. Now, as I said you earlier, we are going to create one method called get image format, which will return the type in the form of number. Okay. So that number will be called into one method. Let me show you that. Int image format is equal to get image format of image file. Okay, so we don't have this method. Now we are going to create this method here. So yes, prototype is created. So I already have a code related to this, so let me copy paste that and tell you what exactly it is. Okay. Okay, so this is the method. Let me import that image file, right? So let me put it as image file, or let me change it to image file name. Okay, so what it does is, you can see here the image format is in might be in a different formats, right? So here you are getting the image format. Here it's a JPG, so it will try to get what it is. Okay, here you can observe if the image file name ends with .jpeg or JPG, then format is equal to XP XWPF document dot picture type JPG, and it is returning some integer number. So some encoded kind of number, you can say. Okay, so for PNG it will return some other number. So this is returning a format, and you can see it's an integer type. Get image format, we are getting an integer type, and this number comes into this now. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to call this method. Okay, so let us give some breaks here. R dot add break, so that images are having some spaces between the lines. Okay, and I'm going to put the file name or the test case name. For example, let me show you, we have two files, right? Test results, home page, text type. So I'm going to put home page, and then give this image, and then I'm going to give the text type. I'm going to place this image. So for that, what I'm going to do, for each for loop it is going to iterate, I'm going to put r dot set text of file name, right? So that means I'm going to give uh, file, this is the file that we are getting. Okay, now, so why this get format method is used, now you will understand clearly. So R dot, as I said, this R run, XPWF run is being used mostly for alignments, colors and everything. This is also used for putting a picture. Okay, so you can see one method here, add picture, and you can see input stream picture data, int picture type, string file name, width, height. Okay, all these parameters needs to be passed. You can see specifies that a break shall be placed at the current location, run content. Sorry, it's a break, right? But let me put it here. Yeah, you can see adds a picture to the run. This method handles attaching the picture data to the overall file. Okay, so it is taking picture data, the raw picture, and picture type. As I told you, it's, see, you can see the type of the picture is document.picture type JPG. So in this method, you can observe format xpdblof dot picture type jpg. Okay, so that's what it is trying to get. So dot, and you can see here, let me scroll down. Okay, you can see now, and width we already taken, and height we have already taken, and we already have a file name, right? So now let's use this method. Okay, so the first thing which we are going to pass is file name, right? So new file input stream of destination. So we already stored this complete path of the file here, right? So destination, so we have put this destination, and the picture type is in image format, right? So it will return some character, integer number, so that this argument is fulfilled. And the file name, so what is the file name? We are getting the file name. So where is that file name? Here. So image file name dot destination dot get name. Here we are only getting the file name, not the complete path, right? So file name, and we already have width here. So width, and we already have height. Okay, and then give semicolon. Okay, so here it might ask for import this. So we are done. So we have to write a catch block here, catch exception e, and let's write continue. So if this fails, let's continue the code. Okay, let me format this. We are done now. Okay, now once what this for loop is doing is it is trying to get all the file names one by one, and it is trying to add a picture to the Word document. And also, before adding the Word document, it is trying to set the title also for that screenshot to know what exactly that screenshot is related to. So this screenshot is related to Google homepage, and this screenshot is related to the text which is typed. Okay, so that's the reason this for loop is written to maintain all those. Now once all this is written, we have to write, I mean, we have to save our document, right? So generally, if you have experience in Excel reading or writing, we will be writing file output stream, right? So in the same way, I'm going to take file output stream out is equal to new, let me take this file output stream of, okay, and system dot get property of. So as I said, we will be taking the same folder user dot directory here, sorry, um, okay, where is that? Okay, so we'll be taking user dot directory, okay, place, we are going to take test results, right? So test results as a path, and plus dot doc, okay. For now let me take it in a doc format, dot doc, okay. So import this, okay, and then you have to doc dot write of out, okay. So these are basic things, when we input a doc file or output a file, we have to write these statements, and we have to close our document. So we have to write out dot close to close the document. So this statement will write everything to the document, and this will write and save, and with this we are closing the document, okay. So we are done with all the code now. So let's see what is this error. So just asking to add throws declaration. So this is a simple line of code, and you have to only concentrate on learning how these methods are there, but you can copy paste this method and use in your project if you need. So just you need to call these methods in this way. We have to use array increment, and finally once your all test cases are passed, then you can use this method, save screenshots to a document regression results screenshots, okay. Now I'll open this test results document. So you can see that there is no word document here, and there are only two files, okay. So let me delete even these two files also. For now this folder is empty. Now I am going to run this test case, and this image files will get created, and also the word document with the results also get created. So hope this will work fine. We haven't tested it, let's see how it goes. So let me run this code now, run as Java application. Hope this will work fine with all the formattings, with all the colors, with all the alignments that we have given. So hope no errors. It's launching the Firefox. So it's typing knowledge share. It's done. So let's see the output. Okay, some error has come. Let us see what is this. So let's go to this test results. Okay, so image files got created, but we got somewhere error in the method. So let's see what it is. Cannot invoke results methods gave screenshot to Word document because base screenshot to Word regression dot reuse is null. Okay, so let me go where it is this error. Okay, the reason for getting that error is we have not specified this width and heights. I mean, we have specified, but we have not specified this units.emu. So this is the only thing that I added, and then reran it is. So units.emu to emu you have to add for width and height. And also one more change is here, document name I forgot to give, I gave here. And other thing is, instead of footer, let me, yeah, instead of create footer we have given create header. So that is the correction done. Now we are good to go. So you can see I'm opening this test results folder, okay, and there is no files, I mean there is no screenshots or a word document. And one more thing, just you have to remember is make all the methods here static. so that there will not be any access issues, and all these methods will be accessed perfectly. So now let me run this program. So don't bother about these red marks. I have put this coverage. That's the reason it came here. So I'm running as Java application, and I have written one more statement at the end to know whether Word document is created successfully or not. I just written a statement like Word document created successfully with screenshots. Yeah. So script is done. Now let me go to Eclipse. I'm not closing the browser. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, see, Word document with screenshots created successfully. Now you can see this test results document is empty. Let me right click and refresh. So now you can see home page, text type, regression results is coming in the test results. Let me go ahead and open those. Okay, so let me open screenshots first. You can see one screenshots for home page, and next screenshot with text type, knowledge share. Okay, and then you can see the date. It's just created, and then let me open this regression results. Yeah, you can see now I have just put knowledge share regression test results in the script. Let me show you that. You can see the header which we put knowledge share regression test results, and then we have given a break. Okay, and then we have given the timestamp in YYMMDD, all this format. Okay, so see, you can see the date. By seeing this date, we can identify that these results are generated on so on so date and time. Okay, and I have put the regression results as at the top. This is the name that we passed in our test script. Let me show. So here you can see we are passing the document name. So the same document name we are putting it here. So put the document name as appropriate as it relates to the screenshots. And then you can see the screenshot, I mean image file name and then screenshot. Okay. And you can see the footer also which we set. Let me open that. We have set the footer with 2021 confidential, do not share these documents. So that is what it is appearing in the footer. Okay, and you can see the second screenshot, a text type is my second screenshot on the image. So you can see the for loop which is existing here. Okay, so in this for loop it is trying to put it is trying to add two breakpoints after the thing, and then text type which is giving the it is setting the text with the test case name and then adding the picture. So this is how it works. So as many images as you can add in this, and just you need to do is capture the screenshot method you need to call each time, and then add this array increment, copy paste, and then you have to only change this name, and then you have to call this method at the end after all your test cases are finished. In the same program you have to call this method so that it will create this screenshot. So hope this video and this code will help you for sure. So this is the basic requirement, and so many posts are coming on this to give the code of how to capture screenshots into Word document and all those. So that's the reason I thought of making this. So in my previous videos I have explained about how to take screenshots. So all these series are related to framework design patterns and all those. So thanks for watching, and I'll paste the code, GitHub code into the description box. You can take the code from there. And yeah, definitely this will help, I think. So please share this code to your friends also so that it will help for them in their projects. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.